560 The Answer, back with you this Monday evening, and I'm really pleased to be joined by a candidate that I really like. Her name is Julie Fox. She is, for those of you who may not know, she's the Libertarian candidate for Illinois Comptroller. Julie, first off, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure a number of our listeners have not heard of you. You are the Libertarian candidate for Comptroller. We've got a Republican and a Democrat running. Why in God's name do you think you need to run?
Well, I think we need a qualified candidate out there. The Comptroller is the chief financial officer for the state, but
Right.
neither the Democrat nor Republican candidate have any background in accounting.
That's fascinating, actually, the way you the way you spell it out like that. In your background, Julie, is what you do.
I'm a certified public accountant. I have worked for the last 16 years in the private sector as a controller, and I also have, public sector accounting experience as well.
Wow. Now, you've been out campaigning. You're running as a Libertarian. I'm sure, Julie, that you've bumped into a number of Republicans who said, Julie, you sound swell, but why are you running? We've got a candidate. Her name is Judy Bartopinka. Have you gotten any pushback at all like that?
Well, not a lot, really, because I think a lot of people recognize that it's time to get rid of these career politicians.
Amen.
Judy Topinka has been in politics for over 30 years. What incentive does she have to expose wasteful spending when she's part of the whole establishment that is part of the issue we have in Illinois?
Exactly. I'm with Julie Fox. She's the Libertarian candidate here in Illinois for Illinois Comptroller. Her website is juliefox2014.com. juliefox2014.com. Julie, you'd like to do what? As Comptroller, what do you see that office doing? What sorts of things would you like to do if you were elected?
Well, one of the things I can definitely do as Comptroller is expose wasteful spending, pork barrel spending, and other blatant misuse of taxpayer funds, increasing transparency. Those are things that the Comptroller is directly involved in. I would also use my position to promote combining the offices of Comptroller and Treasurer, to promote changing our accounting practices to more honest, accrual-based practices, such as those used in the private sector and by European governments. And one of the other things that I would do, and I do have the power as a state officer to do, is to sue the state legislature if they do not come up with a truly balanced budget as mandated by the Illinois Constitution.
Well, that's fascinating, Julie. So that's something you wouldn't hesitate to do?
Not at all. I mean, we're supposed to have a balanced budget. Everyone knows we don't, and it's
Right.
time. That's one of our first steps towards getting us back into a sound fiscal position in Illinois.
Julie, what financially, fiscally, economically, what's the problem with Illinois? What's wrong with this state?
Well, we have programs in our state that are simply not sustainable. I mean, the most obvious one being the pension program.
Yeah.
And we don't hear either one of our governor candidates talking about that, of the Democrats or Republicans, only the Libertarians talking about that. But that's our biggest issue. We need to come together and resolve that issue. And we need to be looking objectively at how we can cut spending. And honestly, career politicians who have been part of the problem are not part of the solution.
Absolutely. That voice belongs to Julie Fox. She is a great, exciting candidate, the Libertarian candidate for state comptroller. She's running, Judy Bartopinka is the Republican comptroller right now. Julie's website is juliefox2014.com. juliefox2014.com. Julie, I'm sure you've been asked this before, but why are you, kind of a two-part question, why are you a libertarian? Why run as a libertarian and not a Republican?
Well, my philosophy is completely in line with the Libertarian Party philosophy, which is also what we call small L libertarian. It's just a general philosophy of life and of government, and that's truly limited government. Whereas a libertarian, I believe that government should be out of our boardrooms and our bedrooms.
Yep.
And honestly, I could not fathom running for a political party that I consider to be part of the problem.
Right, exactly, and that's a song that both you and I have sung. Now, the Republicans have done their best to keep the Libertarians off of the ballot. It looks like they have not been able to succeed. That sort of effort's got to infuriate you a little bit.
Well, I'd say it infuriates me more than just a little bit.
Good.
And yeah, this year, in particular, the process in general is just not fair. Where the unestablished party candidates need to get at a minimum 5 times the number of signatures in a limited period of time. But this year, the Republican Party was behind our challenge, and they went much further, actually intimidating voters at their doorsteps, trying to get them to sign affidavits that stated that the person who circulated was not the person who they said they were. And so they've gone to all lengths to get us off the ballot this year. They have not been successful, but I thank you for bringing it up, because it's not just an issue for libertarians. It's an issue for all third parties. It's an issue for the voters in Illinois. It reduces our choices on the ballot.
Well, look, Julie, I've caught a lot of flack because, again, I was a Republican member of Congress, and I'm with you. We make it too damn difficult for other parties to get on the ballot in this two-party state and country. It shouldn't be that difficult. Ballot access should not be that difficult. Julie Fox, she's the Libertarian candidate for Comptroller. juliefox2014.com. juliefox2014.com. Julie, I've seen you out. I know you're out campaigning as much as you can. What sorts of things and frustration are you hearing from folks?
Well, I think people want change. They want things to turn around in Illinois. They want us to come to some sort of solution about the ongoing pension crisis. We're tired of seeing our friends and family move out of state because they can't find jobs here. And yet that means, we have this ongoing huge debt, unfunded liabilities, and we have a shrinking tax base.
Right.
So we need to really turn things around, and I'm confident that with the choices we do have on the ballot, that people will vote that way this year. And if you want real change, vote for a different person. Quit voting in the same people.
Yeah. Hey, last quick question for you, Julie. Again, your biggest rap against Judy Bard Topinka is what?
I think she has no real accounting knowledge, and she has no incentive to report on wasteful spending in Illinois.
And what's the other big and?
And she's part of the problem.
Beautiful. She's been there forever. She's been there forever. I'll say that. She's been there forever. Hey, a great, fresh voice, a citizen legislator, Julie Fox, the Libertarian candidate for Illinois Comptroller. Check her out, juliefox2014.com. That's juliefox2014.com. Hey, Julie, keep it up, and we'll have you on again. Keep at it out there.
Thank you so much, Congressman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on your show.
You got it. We'll talk to you soon.